creating a cinematic, brand-defining campaign. It's the goal, right? But what if I told you that you could have all of that? The luxury, the quality, the impact, in a fraction of the time and at a fraction of the cost. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and show you exactly how we do it. It's a new method for engineering luxury, and honestly, it's changing the entire game.
This right here, this is our core philosophy. It's the idea that drives everything absolutely we do. In today's world, you have to move at the speed of social media just to stay relevant. But luxury, well, luxury can never, ever compromise on that high-fashion, couture aesthetic. Our entire process is built from the ground up to deliver both, so you never have to choose between being timely and being timeless.
You know, right now, most brands are really stuck between a rock and a hard place. You've got the traditional agency route, which is incredibly slow, super expensive, and at the end of it all, you're just renting the rights to your own campaign. Then there's the other option, messing around with DIY AI platforms. Sure, they're fast, but the quality is all over the place. The aesthetic is generic, and you get these weird, inconsistent results. We saw this massive gap and knew there had to be a better way.
All right, so here's the plan for how we're going to break down our process for you. First, we'll walk through what we call the new luxury playbook. Then, we'll dive deep into how we engineer our unique digital muses. After that, we'll look at our multi-engine workflow, explain the absolutely critical human element, and finally, we'll get into the numbers, the speed, cost, and ownership that makes this a no-brainer.
Okay, first up, the playbook. Let's be clear, this is not about cutting corners, not at all. It's about a complete structural upgrade to the creative process. It's about getting rid of all those old-school physical world inefficiencies that have been slowing brands down for decades.
So what does this new playbook actually look like in practice? Well, imagine this. No more location scouting, zero travel expenses, and forget about trying to line up schedules with talent. Instead, you have this perfectly controlled digital environment. And the best part? You own every single asset we create for you, forever. It's perpetual.
And that brings us to the absolute heart of our method. You see, the old model of renting talent for a single campaign, it's just obsolete. Why would you rent a face for one season when you can build and own a brand asset that lasts forever?
We call this a bespoke digital ambassador. And please, don't think of it as just a model. It's a true piece of your brand's intellectual property. A hyper-realistic muse engineered from the ground up to be the perfect embodiment of your brand's unique character. And it's yours, exclusively, forever.
So how do we make sure this ambassador looks exactly the same in every single shot? This is the #1 thing DIY tools just can't handle. Well, for us, it's a meticulous 3-step process. First, we work with you to create a detailed character blueprint. Then, and this is our secret sauce, we train a custom Flux LoRa model. Now think of a LoRa as a small, highly specialized AI that has one job, to learn the exact face and defining features from that blueprint. This guarantees absolute consistency. Finally, we use advanced rendering tools to get that unbelievable, skin-pore level realism. The result is a permanent brand asset. We call it a digital twin. It never ages, it's never off contract, and it's always, always perfectly on brand. You can deploy it in any campaign, in any market, anywhere in the world, instantly. Okay, now let's talk about our production workflow. This is where we really separate ourselves from all the one-click generators out there. We don't just type a prompt and cross our fingers. No way. We use a multi-engine pipeline to direct a very specific result, kind of like how a film director uses a specialized crew for lighting, sound, and cinematography.
We start with what we call the Runway engine. This is all about full body motion. It's not just about making a character walk, it's about making sure the fabric of a silk dress moves with the right weight and flow, giving you that natural luxury fluidity.
Next up is the director engine. This is focused entirely on the emotional performance. It's how we craft those subtle facial expressions, the nuance in the eye movement, all the little things that convey your brand's unique tone, whether it's quiet confidence or bold elegance.
And finally, our lighting engine. This makes sure your product looks absolutely perfect. It's all about how light interacts with materials, getting that perfect shine on a leather handbag, the glint of light on a diamond, or the rich texture of a wool coat.
And see, this layered approach is the key difference. We're not just generating an image, we are crafting it. It's about having precise, artistic control at every single step of the process. That's true craftsmanship.
But look, for all this amazing tech, technology is only a tool. The most critical stage in our entire workflow is the last one,
the human finishing. This is where raw technology gets guided by human expertise, by taste, and by intent.
After the AI engines do their heavy lifting, our team of artists meticulously polishes every single frame. We upscale everything to a flawless 4K at 60 frames per second. We apply professional color grading to perfectly match your brand's palette. But the most important part? Our editors act as brand guardians. They scan every frame hunting for any of those subtle anatomical errors that AI can still make. An unnatural hand position, a slight warp in the background, anything that feels off. This critical human oversight is what guarantees the final result is absolutely flawless.
So now, let's talk about the part that makes this all undeniable. The numbers. This is where it all comes together. High-end, couture quality, delivered at an incredible speed, with economics that just make sense.
First, just look at the speed. A traditional campaign takes 4 to 6 weeks, minimum. Our hybrid workflow? We deliver assets of the same quality in as little as 72 hours. That is the difference between reacting to culture and actually setting the pace.
Now, let's talk money. A traditional shoot can easily run you over $15,000 when you add up talent, locations, and those pesky usage rights you have to renew. With our model, the digital talent is included, location costs are zero, and you get perpetual ownership. You own it forever, all for a fraction of the price. Let that sink in. We are talking about a potential 90% reduction in your campaign investment. This isn't just a small improvement, it's a complete transformation of what's possible for your brand and your budget.
So I'll leave you with this question. When you can have the absolute highest level of craft, moving at the speed of culture, with full ownership of your assets, and at a fraction of the cost, what's really stopping your brand from owning its future?